welcome to another segment of AstrologyAnswers.com's weekly horoscope. My name is Terence Scardino. Monday, on March the 20th, is the last week before the next new moon, which is next Monday on the 27th. So the last week prior to a new moon every month is about wrapping up and resolving the lessons, the goals that were started with the previous new moon 3 weeks ago. But there's some very favorable energies this week, which means that many of you can bring closure, complete some tasks. But since there's also a lot of very favorable energy this week, this is not overall the best energy to start launching new projects, starting new jobs, etc. But this would be a very overall favorable week for doing your due diligence, for planning, for asking for a second opinion. What do you think about this idea before really forging ahead, which would be best from the next new moon next Monday. So it is that first week after the new moon that is typically the time of initiating new ideas, new directions that can start to culminate to a week after that on the full moon to let you know, well, this is working, let's go further, or this isn't working, let's let it go. But every month, this last week prior to the new moon is not the best energy. It's almost like swimming against the current to try to initiate new projects, because this is the winding down and wrapping up of the last new moon cycle. On Monday, the 20th, it's also, if you are living north of the equator, it is the Spring Equinox. It is the first day of spring. And of course, if you're down under and in Australia or in South Africa, etc., South America, then it would be going into the first day of autumn. But for those born in the northern latitudes, this having the sun shining into Aries is putting this spotlight typically of what we know of spring fever, where it's getting warmer, animals are coming out, the birds are chirping, and there's this whole new zest and excitement to get out of the drab winter blues north of the equator and try to start some new projects. But it is next Monday will be the first new moon in Aries, and that is when you're going to have more of the energy to be more assertive, take action. But this Thursday, decision-making, curious Mercury is in aspect to investigative Pluto. Good day for studying, but it could also be a good day for having some intense exchanges with somebody else. Oh, do you think this is right? Do you think this is what I should do? Or it's just you pulling away and really doing some real reflection, introspection of are these ideas, is something I should be going forwards? Unless this is when you're coming to the realization that certain things didn't work out in those previous several weeks, and maybe you're thinking, all right, this idea didn't work out, let's let it go. But on Friday, now the Mercury is being aspected by expansive optimistic Jupiter. So whatever you were contemplating and maybe deciding to let go on Thursday, you might be getting this charge by Friday that you're feeling good about it, or it's the release. Maybe Thursday you're struggling with this agreement, this commitment, this conversation, and by Friday, the Jupiter, you're feeling more optimistic about it, more, as I said, more of this release. It's a great day for conversations, for traveling. We're really brainstorming a lot of new ideas. On Saturday, Venus, which of course is retrograde all of March to the middle of April, which is testing relationships, but it also brings up what do we value? Is it worth it? Should we spend all this money? Is this lover or friendship worth our time? And that's what the Venus in retrograde overall is trying to teach us. On Saturday, it's now crossing over the sun. So crossing over the sun, it brings up a lot of these issues of relationships, what we value, more into clarity, more into the light. It would be a good day in the positive for reaching out, reconnecting to somebody you have lost touch with, or forgiveness. On Sunday, just prior to the new moon on Monday, the Mercury is now aligning with idealistic, liberating, innovative Uranus. This is the day when maybe a lot of ideas are starting to bubble up and percolate, and you're getting these aha moments. You're thinking out of the box. Not yet technically the day to be acting on these decisions that you might be getting really excited about, or new ideas are coming in and you're like, well, yeah, that's a great idea. But of course, for most of us, it's Sunday, and it's not really the best day to initiate any new goals, directions anyhow until Monday. But there is Monday with the next new moon in action-oriented, pioneering Aries. So overall, this is a good week to wrap up the past month, but to start getting prepared and brainstorming ideas to get ready to enact next week. So before I wrap up, again, I'm one of the astrologers on Astrology Answers. It is available to answer one question for a nominal fee. And again, the time of birth is very important in astrology. Even if you only tell me it was around lunchtime, it was around dinner time. So thank you for tuning in. I hope to see you next week for my next segment. Until then, have a great week.